Well, Quentin had me in mind for this project since he had seen me in the 70s in a lot of the women action films that I had been in. And he liked my energy and the fact that I could handle a gun and that I could be feminine and yet, be assertive. And now, years later, he kept me in mind when he was adapting Jackie Brown to he had this Elmore Leonard novel called Rum Punch, and he said, Pam Grier's got to do this because I think she's the only one that can play this. And he would need the maturity and confidence and wisdom and the survival instincts that I've had to use along the way since the 70s to now. And he was thinking of me when he was writing, and one day it appears and he says he'd called and he said, hey, I'm sending you something. Read it, tell me what you think. And read the role of Jackie Brown. And I'm reading it, and it's Quentin's style with Elmore Leonard's characters. And I was so excited. I didn't know. And I didn't want to call him right away because I thought, well, watch, I'll call. And he said, oh, I just want to see if you liked it because we're not going to do it. And my heart would be broken. And he said, no, we're going to do it, and you're Jackie Brown. And he said, no one else can do it but you. And I was just so overwhelmed. I was just so humbled by it. I was excited. What are the words? There are no words of gratitude, for someone who would do that for you. And so he said, and I'm going to need you to be very, very, very honest. That's what Jackie's about. And I said, okay, you watch my back, I'll watch yours. Don't let me fall. He said, don't you let me fall.
Now, how different is Jackie Brown from the characters of those 70s movies that you were in?
Well, she's more mature. I don't have to be as physical in this movie, but if it was required, I could do it. She has a lot more wisdom. You see, if Quentin had written this for me back in the 70s, I don't think I would have had the maturity or the wisdom to portray her with such depth as a 19-year-old actor, or 20 or 25 or even 30. But because I've honed my skills in theater and the fact that I've had a lot of tenure in life to bring to the work, it makes Jackie, it gives her more depth, and this is what Quentin was looking for.
Jackie is a real fighter. She has to stay there.
Yeah, she has to fight because she's up against Sam Jackson's manhood and his power and strength as Ordell Roby, the killer and gun runner, and Michael Keaton, the ATF officer, and you have Robert De Niro, Bridget Fonda, and Robert Forster. She's up against a lot of people with different dynamics and a different agenda that she has to, go up against and survive from. So she's got to use her wits and common sense and yet be brutally honest and open with Robert Forster so that she can engage him into helping her.
What did you think of the, there's a love story at the basis of all of this. What did you think of the way Quentin wrote it?
I loved that it wasn't so obvious, that it was very sensitive and caring, and the fact that, she really loved him for helping her and he could have taken the money from her, but he didn't. And the fact that he just, he risked his career and life to help her. And not too many people had risked their lives to help Jackie. So she was enamored by that.
These blaxploitation movies from the 70s, could you define them?
They basically defined and exemplified the political agenda and women's movement of the 70s. It was a time for adventure and exploration and redefining of oneself. Are we Negro? Are we Black? Are we African American? How big is our afro? Will the bigger afro make us blacker or more profound in our character? And it was a time that exemplified the womanhood in my community, because Foxy Brown was basically my mom and my grandmother and my aunts, and they would defend the family. And they wanted to be, and many times had to put on the pants and repair the house and cut the lawn and do things if the man wasn't there. So it meant it was okay to be feminine and yet assertive and strong when necessary. And so that was a part of the movement. And I didn't invent it. All women across the country were doing it. I just happened to be one of the few women that brought it to screen.
And did it just die out, or what happened?
Well, it didn't die out. I think as an audience, you can't be redundant. As if there's only me, I can only carry so many storylines without redoing them and rehashing them. And for people who don't have a lot of disposable income to go see movies 3 and 4 times a week, you can't be redundant. You have to be innovative to keep your audience interested. And so I think they basically lost interest because everyone was doing this same formula. Not only me, but other male counterparts. And pretty soon people became bored with it. Even for a while, the James Bond movies, you know, stopped being played because people were bored with the formula.
You were flying pretty high then in terms of fame in your career. How did you handle the fact that it didn't keep flying anymore?
Well, I think the mere fact that when someone says you're a movie star, it's a title that people give you and they can take it away. I was growing as an actor and as your craft and as a craftsman, that people can't take that away from you. So it's not that I needed Hollywood. You know, you can survive, because at the end of the day, when all of the hype and the fanfare and the accolades stop, your family is there for you. The real world is there for you, and that's what's important.
Do you think Jackie Brown is going to do to Pam Grier's career what Pulp Fiction did to Travolta's?
Oh, I don't know. I better start dancing, huh? Because John dances really great. I don't know, but if it happens, you know, it'll be great. It'll be a wonderful new journey for me. I'm getting a lot of roles and scripts and, you know, opportunities to meet all the people I've always wanted to work with. So it could happen. It's a possibility, and I'll try to make the best decisions, you know, in selecting my next roles.
You know, you've been in the business for a long time now. Do you see
I'm a long-time woman.
Do you see the role of women changing in this town?
I think they will evolve. I think there'll be a lot more Jackie Browns coming out with other actresses of all races. I mean, Michelle Khan is like, you know, who works with Jackie Chan, is one of my idols. That I've been watching her for the last 10 years, and then of course Sharon Stone and Sigourney Weaver. We've got, you know, a lot of actresses who can do action and can do character-driven movies. So I think there'll be a balance, and this is one. This film in particular is important because it's basically character-driven. Not a lot of action.
What about black filmmakers and black films today compared to the 70s?
Well, in the 70s, they were more novices, and not a lot of them. The black filmmakers today are well studied. They have filmmaking degrees, and they're much more astute about film. Then it was an adventure in a new time. Now, years later, we have people who have been inspired by it and who study it and have those years and the time and the degree and the effort into learning how to make a good film. So there is a great difference.
And Pam, what do you think makes Quentin tick?
His heart. His heart. He has a huge heart. He's very generous. He's not selfish. People like him. He's genuine, and he really watches your back.
And can you comment on his writing, his dialogue? Is it
gut level from the soul? That's why people like him. They relate to it because it's the word of the street. It's the word of people. It's not watered down. It's not clipped. It's not polished. It's real and it's raw. So you're going to be moved by it. And as the objective of the filmmaker is to be, if you don't make a person laugh, cry, you know, be afraid, or you know, or be indifferent, you haven't done your job. And Quentin wants to do his job.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Welcome very much.